Bubba Scrubba, Stream of Consciousness, Volume 1, Episode 29. Marker. Good morning, everybody. Wednesday morning, and not much has changed for me on the job front. It's still really bleak out there, and just not going that well. No callbacks to be had, which means no interviews. Seeing the same job posted again and again and again for the same companies, it just makes it seem like it's all a scam. So, speaking of scams, Trump, this guy, oh man, it's so great to see him get pushed back on hard. It's been a hell of a week for him, not in a good way. And I think most quote-unquote regular Americans are happy to see that there's finally, some, I don't want to use the word accountability, but it seems as if the tide is turning. I mean, one, this guy's health, this whole, going to Walter Reed for the third time in 13 months. Most of us struggle to make it to the doctor once a year for our annual physical. This guy's got to go 3 times. Obviously with the lifetime of fast food, this guy's consumed little to no exercise, and just the negativity that permeates this guy's body, all of it's adding up to, a very unhealthy person. I think it's pretty well known that a couple of years ago, he had some kind of a stroke episode where he disappeared from the public eye for like a week, and then he came back and he's dragging his leg and half of his face is drooping, all telltale signs. The congestive heart failure, the swollen ankles, byproduct of that. The dementia, which is hereditary and which his dad died of. The fact that this guy has had to take that cognitive exam 3 times, and either he's too stupid to realize that it's not an IQ test and keeps bragging like it is, or he knows that it isn't and he knows his supporters are too stupid to know the difference. 2 wrongs don't make a right. But quite obviously, they would not be giving this guy this test if they didn't think that his brain function was impaired. So physically, he's been done and he is going down. Sundown, and whatever the term is, the term du jour. But, now that coupled with, the Senate or the House not picking up this anti-weaponization bill, this $1.776 billion settlement that he was going to use to basically pay off the Proud Boys and these other paramilitary people that, he's counting on to basically, I guess, intimidate people at the polls or something. I don't know. And having his name taken off, or them saying he has to take his name off the Kennedy Center. And, just these other things, the fact that this guy said he doesn't care about the economic problems of regular Americans. He's too busy stopping Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. That didn't go so good. And now he's realizing what a snake Netanyahu is. He got played by him. He got played by the Iranians. He got played by Putin. This guy just keeps getting played and played. And his supporters are like, no, this is 4-dimensional chess. He is negotiating at a level that you cannot understand. I've seen better negotiating skills at a garage sale, at a flea market, than what this guy possesses. Maybe once upon a time, he had some great negotiating skill, but those days are long gone, especially with how far gone his brain is, how brain dead this guy is. So, things kind of looking up. Of course, it took a bunch of sitting senators to get primaried and lose, or get primaried and win, for them to start showing any kind of backbone, because they know that the ones that obviously lost in their primary, they have nothing to lose now. They can just serve out the rest of their term. They can vote their conscience instead of, what MAGA dictates that they need to. And, maybe help America a little bit in that regard. I have little to no respect for those people because, like guys like Jim Cornyn or even Tom Tillis, because the only reason that they decided, that they were now going to be like, oh, maybe what he's doing is wrong, is because they don't have to worry about being reelected anymore. As for those Republicans that did win their primary and now have to go against a Democrat in the general election, they're doing it obviously because they want to move closer to the center and help their electoral chances. But I'm looking at people like Susan Collins, snake in the grass that this woman is, 70, 80-year-old, or she needs to go. Or guys like Chuck Grassley, 93 years old, gotta go. Or like Feinstein a few years ago, gotta go. Or Nancy Pelosi, or any of these people in their 70s, 80s, or even 90s. It's time to sweep them off of the stage. And I guess my generation, the Gen X, Zennial, Millennial generation, has to take over. My generation, we didn't want the responsibility. We still don't want the responsibility. We don't really care. I mean, yeah, I care about politics. I care about the direction of this country, but I don't care enough to really do anything about it as far as to become a politician or something like that, to serve. I mean, I was the president of my HOA once upon a time, and that sucked. It was a thankless job. I can only imagine what it would be like to be a city planner, city manager, mayor, what have you. And the people who want those jobs, the people who covet those jobs, are just people that are interested in power, any kind of power at any level. My wife has a job working for a property management company. And so now part of her job is dealing with residents who all they do is sit around and complain about this or that. This isn't working. Why isn't the pool open? Blah, 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 blah. And, these are the people that end up running for the board of an HOA or a PUD. And, they think that they wield some kind of, unlimited power, over the other residents and try to run roughshod over them. Most of them do. I mean, there are some sane people who run for the board and do it for the common good and understand that. But the majority of people who do, just like the majority of people who run for politics, political office, just like the majority of people who go into law enforcement, they do it because they're on an ego trip. And they have to have that mindset, in order to do it. And those of us that don't, well, it looks like I'm going to get caught in the rain here. Should have known better than to go for a walk. It looked like it was this threatening. But this is Florida. So anyway, we're going to cut this video off a little short. So talk to you guys soon.